Electricast.
I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
The kids are still at practice, and I have no idea what's for dinner.
You can get a rotisserie chicken and 2 sides for just $15 in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Who said that? Who's in my house? Don't play with me, because I'm not the one.
It's just your friendly Walmart announcer. This is a commercial.
Oh, okay. You were saying dinner for a family was just $15?
Yep, it'll be at your door by the time you get the kids home from practice. Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Subject to availability, restrictions and fees apply.
Now that was a helpful commercial.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, you are about to listen to the most entertaining and informative wrestling podcast out there. That is not a prediction, it is a spoiler, and this is Kayfabe Critics. I think there's only one real way that we should start this episode, so just hold on a second. Hey, yo. This is Kayfabe Critics. I am Michael Marcangelo, joined alongside Rayshawn Buchanan and by Craig D'Alessandro. And today, we are back by popular demand, and we're talking about WrestleMania 38. It's our preview show. It's our second annual WrestleMania preview show. But before we get to that, and before we get to all the fun stuff, I don't think we can't do a wrestling podcast in this day and age right now without talking about the passing of Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, the bad guy, the guy that through everything. I mean, he along with Kevin Nash, I think we can all agree, changed the business for the better for the workers, guaranteed contracts. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago, he passed away due to complications with hip surgery. But I don't know. I'll open up to you, Ray. This one hit me hard. What are your thoughts on Scott Hall and his legacy?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it hit me hard as well, man. I didn't really remember the Razor Ramon era as much because I remember just starting to watch it. But by the time he got to WCW, as he said in his opening promo out there, they put on a hell of a show on a weekly basis. Him, Nash, and the rest of the crew over there, man. So. Yeah, it was tough to see that. I mean, obviously, I remember his WrestleMania 30 Hall of Fame speech, and we can get into that shortly. But yeah, he was a phenomenal performer. Like you said it best. He changed the business forever. Alongside with Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan. That bad Bash at the Beach. July 7th, 1996. Will live in infamy for real. And I'm just glad that we was able to watch. Him, week after week, deliver great performances, great promos, and, he definitely one of the best to ever do it.
I think what makes it harder, right, is that just the rebound, right? If this was 2013, 2012, I think we would all expect that this was going to be the outcome. But, after he, was basically not saved, but He got his life back in order with DDP and Jake the Snake Roberts, and then that Hall of Fame speech, man. You just touched on it, and Craig, I'll go to you about your thoughts after this. But I just remember you saw him walk out through the curtain at that Fall River show, and he just looked like awful. It was the end, and you thought this is just going to be another sad story, and then you fast forward what was it, 14 months after that, and for him to go up and give that speech and to say, I just love hard work pays off. Dreams do come true. Bad times don't last. And then he looked directly at the camera and said, but bad guys do. You just thought he was going to, I get goosebumps quoting him. Every time I watch it, I get goosebumps. Craig, your initial thoughts on Scott Hall and the impact on the business.
This one hurt particularly just because of how he turned his life around. I know you just mentioned about like 9-10 years ago. If this was happening, you would have turned on the news sometime or checked a wrestling gossip column, and he said that Scott Hall passed away. We were like, sucks, but the way his life had been going, that's not unexpected. The way things he turned around with DDP and Jake the Snake really were excellent. And then, things were going phenomenal for about 5, 6, 7 years. And then the pandemic happened and things just spiraled down for him. Shows shut down. He couldn't, bookings weren't able to take place. He wasn't able to do what he loved. So his demons came back and, his health just took a spiral. But that being said, what he leaves on the business is one of the most impacted careers of all time that should have been better.
Yeah. I think he was just like a phrase that we could use to sum him up is he was just effortlessly cool. Everything he did was cool. I mean, he was, I think, and you all can correct me if I'm wrong and feel free to tweet at us or comment at us, but I think he's one of the first truly bad guys that just got over because he was so cool, right? I mean, his initial Razor Ramon promos and everything, like you could only do that for so long because he just oozed machismo, as Vince McMahon used to say on commentary. And every time he would show up, I would say post 2014, whenever they would do those Raw reunions and the NWO would show up, he got a huge pop. People just wanted to hear him say, "Hey, yo." And you mentioned should have been better. I'll throw this out there. Is he, because I know that there's a little controversy here, for you guys, is he the best to never win a world championship in the major promotion?
So I thought about this when I saw this earlier when you said this to us. I'd probably have to say, yes. I mean, he made the Intercontinental Championship prestigious again. Well, not even again, but just continued that legacy of what that title meant. I think he won 5 or 6 times, if I'm not mistaken, on that championship. So, obviously, we'll forever remember WrestleMania 10. That's probably a top. I'd even go that's maybe a top 5 match of all time. Definitely top 10. But if you want to go as far as top 5, I wouldn't be mad at that either. But yeah, I mean, what he was able to do with the IC belt, it's hard to say. It's hard to say why Vince didn't put it on him. And the and WWF at those days, and why he didn't get it even as a member of the NWO or the Outsiders when he got WCW. I mean, he was white hot for a long time. So he clearly would have put guys over, and he said it on multiple interviews. He was like, "Bro, I'm in it for the money." Like, yeah. He's like, I'll put anyone over. Like, just pay me. Like, so he's that turn. He's telling everybody like, "Yo, like I'll put anyone you want over. Let's just make money." And hell, Sean Waltman, aka 123 Kid, aka X-Pac, aka Six, he literally made his career in 1993 because he put him over on a small package roll up, and it changed his career forever. So 2-time Hall of Famer because of Scott Hall. So that come on,
Scott Hall did a lot. He put a lot of people over like that. Like, right, exactly. Sticks, Sean Waltman. He put a lot of guys over just by, put me over, pin me. He did a lot for a lot of guys. So getting back to the world title thing, I actually, this is something I keep track of. I do have a list of 5 guys in my list that should have had a world title in their career and never did in any promotion. And it's interesting because I look at them and they're all pretty much cut from the same cloth. Their entire careers, pretty much bad guys the entire time. That being Scott Hall, number 1, no particular order. Scott Hall, Roddy Piper, Jake the Snake Roberts, and Arn Anderson. And you can throw Ted DiBiase in there too if you want to. But these were guys who were just bad asses and just would have been, I don't know why they were never put over. At the top of the card, I felt like they would have been great, but they were just never put into that position. And those 5, they were phenomenal where they were in the middle, and they were never given that chance at the top. And I don't understand why, but I'm not in charge of those decisions.
Yeah, I would just say to that, how many main event baby faces would there have not been if those guys were world champion, right? There had to be someone there to test them. And if you can't get over and you can't be the better, like the good baby face against a Razor Ramon or a Scott Hall, then your push as a baby face is over at that point. I think he was the barometer. I truly don't think it was a lack of respect thing. I just think that there are some people, you know, like a Pat Patterson that are just, and Roddy, I never looked back at Scott Hall and say, like you said, Craig, you didn't mean this derogatory, but it could have been better. Most people, the title makes them. Others, they make the title. And then there are the few exceptions that don't need that they're just that good anyway. I think that's where Scott Hall is for me. And you know, you talk about his contributions to the business, and then we'll parlay this into WrestleMania.
I think we call those people the Cesaro section, right?
Yeah, there would be no Black Crow Sting without Scott Hall. Mm-hmm. That's his idea. Like he just had these small things that he knew it could point out and tweak that would just be like so creative. And you know, he pitched Razor Ramon to Vince. He said, "Hey, have you ever seen Scarface?" Vince said no, and so he watched it, and then all of a sudden he was that guy for the remainder of of our lives. So I think, you know, there are some that are going to hit you hard. This one was one of them. He was a huge part of my childhood, and one of the reasons why I started watching wrestling and continue to watch wrestling, because he was just so cool. So obviously, you know, RIP to Scott Hall. Now, what he would like us to do, because he was in it for the money, like you said, he didn't care about wins and losses. He just wanted to get paid. The biggest show of the year, and the biggest promotion out there, is this weekend. It's too big for one night, so it's WrestleMania weekend, and it starts Saturday, April 2nd. What we'll do, I'll read the match. You let me know who you think is going to win, and if it's something that we don't even want to talk about, you say I don't care, and we'll move on. But before we get into the actual card, what's your overall thought of the road to WrestleMania this year, Ray?
I mean, I unfortunately I've missed some of it. But I mean, my favorite buildup has been, you know, the KO and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I know we're going to get into that. To me, that's been storytelling at its finest. And like I said, I know we're going to talk about it shortly, but yeah, that's been the biggest thing. You know, and then I feel like it's been kind of underwhelming with the Bianca Belair, you know, Becky Lynch, you know, story. You know, I know they, you know, had their match, you know, last year or whatever, but I just felt like, you know, they still could have done more with that story, especially with the rematch. I feel like they haven't really capitalized off that 26 seconds, you know, victory that she had at SummerSlam last year. So, you know, those are some things that kind of stick out. Haven't seen too much with the AJ Styles and Edge thing too, but that's another match that I'm looking forward to. So, like I said, I'm ready to go down the card and, you know, say yay or nay, or, you know, just move the hell on. So,
Craig, your overall thoughts, and I'll throw in a caveat. Is it a bad thing that they're relying so much on outsiders, no pun intended, this year, to fill some spots in WrestleMania? Is that indicative of where they are as a company, and what were your overall thoughts of the build?
This WrestleMania is a WrestleMania that I feel like is really hurting because of the release they did over the last year. Of course, over the last year, they've released like 35, I think, wrestlers from their promotion. Some of the big names too, obviously Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, stuff like that. Would have been great on this WrestleMania card against guys like Seth Rollins and people like them. But they're doing with what they got right now. Obviously, they're reaching out to certain individuals, celebrities, people who have been in the promotion, past champions, stuff like that. And, you know, it is what it is. Given what it is, it's not a bad card this year. It's not bad. They're definitely relying on nostalgia acts a couple of times, which they have plenty of times. But overall, this is not the worst WrestleMania card I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I think what we've learned now is that every person on this roster and on this show, they're all capable of having, for the most part, a 4 or 5 star match. So I'm not worried about the match quality. It was just about the overall build, because Mania and Mania season is always you expect the unexpected. I think they did do a pretty good job throwing in some curveballs throughout this time, but it didn't feel like the road up to, let's say, WrestleMania 31, right? Or 30. Like, you can say 30, like the Yes Movement. It just felt like there were so many more things that they relied on their homegrown talent as opposed to pulling in from the outsiders.
Even 35, honestly, like that elimination. I mean, granted, I know they kind of fell into the laps because Mustafa Ali got hurt, but I was just watching that pay-per-view the other day, and man, like that match, even the women's elimination champion match was crazy for the tag team championship. When Becky and not Becky, when Sasha and Bailey won it. I miss her. I think she's probably going to come back Monday night too, but we'll get into that. Because there's always a return after WrestleMania, but I think she's coming back. But yeah, like I don't know. I definitely lost my train of thought there because I was trying to think of another thing to put together. But I'll let you keep going, man.
All right. So,
I was talking about 35. That's what it was. It's 35. Yep. But go ahead.
I will say this: I've seen a lot of these matches already before, and that's okay. That's all right. Like we've seen Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns before, but this is a completely different. This is a completely different feud. This isn't just Roman Reigns facing Brock Lesnar again. This is completely different. They've completely changed.
Yeah, this is a babyface Brock versus God mode Roman Reigns, and he does it so well. I think we talked about this last year. That the tribal chief head of the table, he shouldn't lose. I mean, he really shouldn't lose for a long time. It's so good, and I never would have thought that a byproduct of Roman Reigns' push is going to be that we finally get to see it in like an awesome Brock as a face with the microphone, because everything he does is hysterical and it's awesome. I know, Ray, you were texting me about that too. Like, this is the Brock we've been waiting for 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from, when he came on as the next big thing, and then, we had that run that, back and forth with Kurt Angle in 2003. So obviously the match at Mania 19, and then, was it? I don't know if they had a match of advantages. I can't remember, but that same year. But I just remember him being, more comical, and he seemed like he enjoyed, the business, and really understood the business. That's something that you said to me off the air, Mike. You said that he really understands the business, and even when like the Fight Prize, Brock, when he came back in 2012 to like that 2015 run, like he understood that he was coming in. And ironically smashing everyone, stack them, pin them, and then leave. Saying like he was doing that. He was doing that long before Roman Reigns really got the push.
Well, besides Cena or Triple H, but yeah, to your point,
right, yeah, exactly.
Also, he had that Paul Heyman leash on him for a long time too.
Yeah, I mean, but that's always
that made his career though.
Yeah, they can always go back to that. Like, you think about it, and we're getting sidetracked. Shocker on a wrestling show. Brock wasn't good enough on the mic in 2014, where his character was to hold a feud with The Undertaker, who wasn't appearing. So you needed Paul to do that.
Yep.
And he did it. And especially on the heels of Punk leaving, and they're in Chicago for Raw.
Oh,
and Heyman, I mean, it was just
gold.
Beautiful. So this is going to be a bit of a downturn. The first match, WrestleMania Saturday. We can't call them the New Day because Vince won't let us. Kofi Kingston and King Woods versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. Do we care about it? And do we want to pick a winner?
I'm sad that this match isn't the match it was supposed to be because of Big E injury and everything. But it would have been a 3-on-3. I would have been much happier with Butch, aka Pete Dunne, in having his WrestleMania debut in this. But it's probably going to be a good match. It'll probably be the second, third match on the card. It's nothing special.
Go ahead, right?
You can see it on my face. This is okay. I obviously listen. I'm a Kofi guy. We've talked about this. I love Kofi. I'm honestly, on a side note, I'm ready for Xavier Woods to get the same push that Kofi and Biggie end up getting. Like, I want all three of them to be world champion at one point. I just like I did with the Shield. You know, the New Day has been just as impactful as the Shield was. So if you gave all three of them title runs, you need to do the same thing here for the New Day, regardless of what Vincent Kennedy McMahon says. But I mean, listen, I think the New Day goes over. I do. You know, I didn't understand the whole Butch character either. I think Pete Dunne's a hell of a character, hell of a wrestler. You know, I guess maybe he's going to add some more comedic, you know, relief to the show.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either. But to me, when you dress up someone that looks like that, it looks like, you know, Robert Redford and the Natural. Like, I just think that you think I think it's time. I think it's time that you know, he's out there looking like a modern day Roy Hobbs. So it's something's got to give. But yeah, New Day should go over in that match. But you know, I'm not expecting much out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with your point about Xavier Woods or King Woods. Sorry, but I think Vince is still a little nervous that when you Google him, there might be a couple of X-rated pages that pop up, if you know what I'm saying. So I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he's gonna ever turn the. I was gonna say turn the page on that, but yeah.
Yes, go viral, baby. Turn the page.
I do think. Yeah, 2/3 of the New Day do go over on this.
I knew that's where you were going to, you motherfucker.
I love it. I love it.
I mean,
I love it.
What happened, right?
Hey, yo.
I don't know what order this is. What order this is going to appear in, but we heard it. We heard it on we saw it all today on WWE social media. We were recording this on Monday, March 28th. Seth Rollins will have a match at WrestleMania on Saturday. He will not find out who his opponent is until he gets to the ring. Ray will be our on-hand correspondent for WrestleMania here in Dallas. So who does Seth Rollins face and who wins, Ray?
Well, we talked about this off air. I'm hoping it is Cody Rhodes. I'm hoping that he's the guy that's back in the WWE. I felt that I didn't think that we would see a day that he'd come back to WWE, but I just feel like maybe he just felt that his time up with AEW was over for the time being, and that's okay. And I think we're going to see some more guys come back over there. But to answer the question, I think Cody Rhodes would be an awesome opponent. I think they put on a hell of a match. You know, have Seth kick out a few crossroads, have Cody kick out a few curve stops, and just have like a 15 to 20 minute match and potentially steal the show in night one, because I think they would put on a hell of a show there. But I think Seth will go over obviously with Cody just coming back, and then maybe building up a feud, going into Backlash in May.
If Seth goes over, you kill Cody instantly.
Yeah, you
can't do that.
Vince doesn't care about that shit. You know that.
It's been up to you.
Listen, the man went and built another promotion,
and then came back.
Right, and came back, but there's no. I mean, granted, if that's the case, that he thinks that Cody could come back and be what he was building up to be going into WrestleMania 27. Okay, then if that's the case, then okay, then let's see where we can go, because that's obviously things that got kind of stale with the legacy. Tag team. They had a hell of a run in 2009 with with him and Ted DiBiase's son.
Ted DiBiase.
Yeah. Oh, there's also there you go. There you go. I forgot he was a junior. My bad. I should just kept that legacy. But yeah. So I mean, listen, you guys are right. Hopefully that's the case. But I just see Vince doing what Vince does and not understanding the moment and just saying, burn it down, Seth. You're gonna win. So. Mainly, also, I'm a Seth Rollins guy too. So,
yeah. Don't blame that on Vince. You want Seth to win. All right, Craig. We'll just assume that it's Seth Rollins versus Seth freaking Rollins versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Who you taking in this?
Yeah, I'm assuming this is what it's going to be. I assume this will be in the middle of the card or something. It should be Cody Rhodes. Everyone said that's who it's going to be. I expect some kind of swerve. I expect maybe him to come out as Stardust or something, and then it'll turn back into Cody Rhodes. But this is a match that I expect Cody Rhodes to end up winning. This should be since it's going to be night one of WrestleMania. I'm expecting this to be the match of the night when it eventually gets to Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. And, Cody Rhodes eventually goes over because if you read the reports, whoever the world champion coming out of WrestleMania Night 2 is, they got Cody Rhodes coming right for him. If they stick to the plan.
Well, then either way, they're going to kill Cody Rhodes. So I mean, if Cody Rhodes beats Seth Rollins, he's just going to be fed to Roman Reigns. Spoiler alert. That's who's probably going to win night. That's who I think is going to win night 2. But we'll get there. I hope it's Cody Rhodes. I hope he wins. I hope he does not go against Roman Reigns after that, because you don't kill someone off in 2. Well, they do. You're not supposed to kill somebody off in 2 months, but that pop's going to be nuts. So Ray, please send us the sound, because that's going to be, I think, the second biggest pop of night 1. Next, we have Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin. Next
match. And I love what Drew McIntyre has become, but next match.
I preferred Happy when he wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And that was like, he did so much of that gimmick. We have the Mysterios versus the Miz and Logan Paul, the first celebrity appearance. Craig.
Actually, this is going to be really good. I think Logan Paul's been excellent in this little build-up. He's actually been there. He's made the shows. I don't like him as a person. I think he's annoying, but at work-wise, he's done an excellent job in this feud, and this should be actually a pretty good match. Like, Logan Paul's very athletic, so this should be I'm not sure it's going to be this match tonight, but it should be all right. These are all excellent workers. Dominic Mysterio is still pretty raw, and Logan Paul is going to have to be carried as well, but this should be good.
It is. I feel bad for the first celebrity that has to go, because they have to follow Bad Bunny from last year.
Yeah, Bad Bunny was amazing.
And he was invested. I mean, he got a ring, he trained, he loves that, the sport of professional wrestling. So he took it seriously. So Logan Paul, if this is the first, which it looks like it's going to be the first celebrity appearance, he has a lot to live up to there. I actually think, before I let you go, Ray, I'm going to pick the Miz and Logan Paul in this one, and I think Dominic turns on Ray.
I'm happy you said that. I really am.
Too.
Because
Me too.
In the past, I've said eventually there's got to be a feud between Dominic and Ray, and in that feud, that Ray would somehow be the heel in that one. But then I went back and looked at it. Ray's never been a heel in his entire career, ever.
That doesn't know how to be.
Yeah, right. Doesn't know how to be. So he's not going to start at 45 years old.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you have to have the son turn on the father, because he's been in his shadow for too long, and the Miz is the perfect one for him to align himself with at first, because the Miz just gets heat just by showing up.
And actually, they set that up tonight at Raw, where Rey Mysterio sent Dominic back to the back, because Dominic is going, "I'm going to fight for my dad's mask and put it on and wear it." And Rey was like, "No, you got to earn the mask." And it was like, so it looks like there's going to be some kind of thing happening there. Looks like they started that fire tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one thing to add on to that. Like, it'd be great for either Ray or I guess they have to be Dominic, but it's like, he has to put on a shirt. "You're not my poppy." That would be
the best.
Yeah, that would be the best. And he come out to Latino
Eddie's music.
Chavito, that would be phenomenal. He's like, he can say, "I missed my cue 15 years ago. I'm no longer missing my cue, Dad. At Backlash, your ass is mine." That would be gold. Next level. Hey Vince, I need a job.
Ray just booked himself into buying a ticket to Backlash too.
Yeah, well, I told you I wanted to go up there, so you kindly turned me down. But no, but listen, Miz needs to go over in this. Like, I feel like he continuously does these jobs for Vince, and I understand that he's been a company guy, but it's like, bro, like, this guy is a multiple-time world champion. He's an 8-time Intercontinental champion. Like, he's been relevant for a long time, and he always goes above and beyond, what is needed. Hopefully WWE listens and makes it happen.
Unfortunately, this next one will be quick. I hate to say that, but we have the Women's Tag Team Championship. We have Carmella and Queen Zelina versus Naomi and Sasha Banks versus Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley versus Natalya and Shayna Baszler.
So much wasted talent in this match.
I don't care for it.
I'm going with Sasha. If Sasha's there, I'm picking her.
We'll go with Sasha. Cool.
I mean, I just love her, and maybe she can finally win at WrestleMania. So yeah, I'm going with Sasha. And then we have the winner take all unification match for the WWE Universal Heavyweight Championship. Brock Lesnar versus your tribal chief, my head of the table, and the guy that's in God mode, Roman Reigns. I think this is going to be their best match. And by the way, they've never had a bad one. They have never had a bad match. It's always super intense. And this closes out this is a 7-year feud. I mean, WrestleMania 31 was when they first. Yeah. So this should be the one that closes it out. I do think I'll give away my take here first. I think that there is a small chance that Lesnar wins. I hope that he doesn't. He doesn't need it. I hope that it's a 20-minute matchup. It's brutal, and I hope Reigns wins. And then at the end, again, he says, "Who else you got?" And we hear The Rock's music. If we're going to get that now to preview for next year, I'm all in. And Ray will go absolutely nuts if he gets Stone Cold and The Rock and AJ Styles and Edge all in one weekend. So I'm going Roman Reigns here.
So there's two ways that they could go of this. If they want to reset everything, they could just have Brock take down Roman Reigns. I believe that Brock Lesnar is one guy that believably can take down anybody in WWE, and you can understand it. But if they want to keep going, just keep going with Roman. I'm totally fine with that. That'd be hell of a story to keep going. Because if he wins on Sunday, I don't conceivably see a match before WrestleMania 37,
38, no,
38, whichever the next WrestleMania is.
39
that beats Roman Reigns before the next WrestleMania. I don't see anyone on the current roster doing that. And you're not going to sell tickets or do an event for a random pay-per-view and Roman Reigns loses that title.
AJ Styles.
I mean, their stuff in 2016 was...
See, that match at Extreme Rules was one of Roman's best matches ever.
Yep.
And he wasn't super over at that moment because people hated him because he always getting forced out of the throat. AJ made him fight for everything, literally. And he answered the bell time and time again. So once again, I'm clearly I'm turning to his agent. AJ Styles. I'm telling you, he's to me, between him and Seth, those two to me are the best in the game right now. So yeah, and once again, you couldn't tell by my clamoring for both of them to go over. But I just love what those guys can do. So AJ can get it done at some point, but it's just a matter of how you build it.
I just have a question for you,
Okay.
Ray. What do you do in AT&T Stadium if Roman Reigns wins? He gets on the mic and he says, "Who's next?" And like he just says, "There's no one else. I've smashed him. I've stacked them all." And then The Rock's music plays.
Wouldn't that be a Raw after Mania moment?
No, you got to bring The Rock out in front of
just like Messina came back and Money in the Bank, like that was perfect to Vegas, acknowledge me. Like that shit was gold. Like it was phenomenal. I fell off my bed watching that shit. So if I fell off my bed with that happening, with Cena coming back, I just hope I'm not sitting close to the front where I can lean over because I may fall over if the Rock's music hits. So I have to make sure that I need someone to hold me up because I'm gonna go crazy here. If you smell with I'm gonna go crazy. Or what I would like to do too, maybe they bring back what to me was his best theme, the Hollywood Rock.
No, it was a heel then. You didn't want to do that.
It was a good theme though.
I love that theme.
Yeah, that was his best theme. Like, and you had the helicopters. He's like, and have Roman have that dazed look on his face, and then you hear the "It's cooking." Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Yep. It's the best.
Yeah, that would be the best. That would be phenomenal. And I felt like they were kind of trying to I felt like they were trying to turn Roman Loki back to a face after that Seth Rollins match at Royal Rumble. But it was maybe they go back to that because that's already in the match of the year category. What I saw at Royal Rumble between him and Seth. Once again, phenomenal story. Phenomenal. So they're gonna go back. They go back to that at some point too. So so we'll see. But to answer your question, I'm gonna lose my shit if I hear any type of theme. I don't care if it's the Nation of Domination theme or his first one when he was Rocky Maivia. I'm going to lose my mind if I hear any variation of the Rock's theme, any variation, going crazy.
I didn't mean to do this, but I did skip over a match. I apologize.
Not worth it. No,
Raw Tag Team Championship, RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy.
Ooh.
I think it's gonna be a solid match. It's gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
RK Bro should win.
No.
Okay, well, you think the Street Profits should win?
Absolutely. It's their time, bro. Like it's their time. Like I think I listen. Montez Ford is a future star. To me, he's already a star, but I think he'll be a future single star in my opinion.
You mean Mr. EST?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But it's true. It's true though. It's true for right now. But I would love to see them get the title. They deserve it. I feel like they have put in a lot of work. They were doing all these mini vignettes early on, like, we want the smoke. Well, it's time. The smoke needs to be fulfilled. And to me, on a weekend that you're giving Shad Gaspard the Warrior Award, and to me, they are Crime Time 2.0. They are. They're Crime Time 2.0. A little more athletic than Shad and JT.
Not a little more.
Okay, I like Crime Time. I was trying to be respectful, but okay, you want to go there, fine. Sure, they're a lot more. They're a lot more athletic. So I just think that the smoke needs to be fulfilled, and I think they need to be crown champions. Also, I also want to see eventually. I want to see Riddle in a match. So I think this is the time.
Riddle has to turn on him.
Has to lose. Yeah, he'll lose. Or maybe Orange the one that gets pinned, and Riddle's like, and then just decks him.
Yeah, we need to see. I talked about this last time. Riddle has to turn on Orton, and then Riddle has to go from the bro to like the corporate suit wearing guy, and because I think he could do it, and I think he could make people hate him because, good looking, he's a UFC fighter. He could legitimately hurt most people on that roster. So make him that. Do what they should have done with Roman that they finally did 6 years later. Now with Riddle, because he could be the next big thing in WWE if they do it right. The whole bro thing is that'll sell T-shirts and merch, but he'll never be a world champion with that gimmick. Craig, did you have anyone you want to pick? Yeah, but as you mentioned at the beginning of the show, that you'll talk about his career as it could have been better.
Yes. Also, by the way, no Intercontinental or United States Championship on this card.
Maybe a pre-show, I bet.
Yeah, but they deserve to be on the card.
I don't even know what an IC champion is right now. That's how
Ricochet,
yeah.
Oh, and then that's a shame because Ricochet. I remember the match he had a few years ago against Samoa Joe. I was it Extreme Rules? No. Maybe a Battleground, but that match that he won his first U.S. title, that was a hell of a match. Once again, we got to give back to making that title relevant. That used to be when you put that belt on somebody, they were the next guy up. Like they were in the batter's box and they was ready to swing that motherfucker. You got that belt relevant again. And once again, it should be the fact that I had to even think, or that was Ricochet. And once again, I like Ricochet, but the fact that I had to think about what that was, that's a problem. That's a fucking problem.
I watch both shows every week, and I'm here to tell you, I have no clue who the U.S. champion is.
Finn Balor.
Oh, so I'm just not David Priest anymore. Got you. See, look at that. That's fucking wild. Look at that. That's insane. Right. That's insane. Hey, fan critics, and we don't know who the champions are. That's wild.
He is in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal,
which is on SmackDown. It's on Mania.
Oh, but WrestleMania SmackDown.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
Ray going to WrestleMania is not going to SmackDown. So what does that tell you?
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't WrestleMania.
I'm agreeing with you, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It just never sounds like that. All right. I think we should do more of these. It's been a long time since we did the last Kayfabe Critics. We should do this again because there's so many different topics that we can talk about. But can I add one thing? I mean, you're the producer. You can add 4 things if you'd like, Craig.
So I will only add one is because we are recording this show live while Monday Night Raw is taking place. There is a new match on the card on WrestleMania Sunday.
Who's Omos fighting?
He is fighting the almighty one, Bobby Lashley.
Oh, poor Bobby. Like, you work your ass off to come back from whatever injury you had to I mean, you know what? Maybe Omos will be good. He's just not good now.
He's not good now.
Right. Right. I mean, Craig, we don't need an actual soundbite. The visual soundbite is just you saying that and Ray's face for 30 seconds.
What?
What?
Come on, Vince. Yeah, what? Your name is Hugh? What? Your name is Omos? What? You think it's funny? What? You think it's hilarious? What? You're pathetic. Like, what? Oh God, what are we doing, Vince? Like, how did you think this was okay? Like,
he's just trying to get Bobby Lashley on the card, dude.
no, you got the Black Khali, and it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Oh God, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Yeah, I said it. Whatever. It's true. You got the Black Khali.
Well, you're the only one that can say it, right?
Well, it's good to know that we were thinking of that. That's good.
Yeah,
but it's like, damn it, like, well, this is so bad. But okay, well, hey, the Almighty is returning. So okay, great.
It's like Giant Gonzalez 30 years later.
Right. I said, yeah, there we go.
That's
even better. Even better.
That's what it is. But for Hollywood Rayshawn Buchanan, hey, D'Alessandro, this was Kayfabe Critics. Thank you so much for listening. And in the words of the bad guy, I guess you can just score this one for the good guys. Talk to you later.
Hi, I'm Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. What did you do on your last Saturday night?
Did you hear something?
Toilet paper.
There's nada. The reserves have gone dry. People are hoarding it. I should have done that.
They're all out of hand sanitizer at my Target.
Mark, when did you last watch the news?
We are getting reports of forced quarantines in China, Japan, and now Italy.
You're cutting onions in half and putting them around your apartment.
Yes, exactly. It kills the COVID.
Excuse me?
Let's go. Get in.
Vamos, rápido.
Have you ever driven one of these?
Never.
I'll drive, ladies.
I've got the keys.
Excuse me, I'm lost. I'm looking for my wife. I got turned around.
Join me, Eric Roberts, Jennifer Elise Cox, and Ed Asner for The Last Saturday Night, an Electrocast podcast. You'll love it. Electrocast.